On her first day at the company, the CEO's wife reported to work. She had just sat down and was ready to work. The department supervisor immediately sent her an empty red envelope. The woman asked the supervisor in confusion what he meant. Unexpectedly, the supervisor said that this weekend was her birthday. Everyone in the office was required to give her a red envelope containing $1,000 because the woman was new. The supervisor, to be especially considerate, sent her an additional empty red envelope because the supervisor hasn't received a red envelope from a woman yet, so she needs to wrap 2 red envelopes this time. However, the woman was not at all buying into that. She pretended not to have any cash as an excuse and tossed the red envelope back. The supervisor shamelessly told her that she could just transfer the money via her phone. The woman asked the supervisor if he knew who she was. The supervisor clearly neither knew nor cared to know. The woman remarked that since he didn't know who she was, he shouldn't be asking for a red envelope. Immediately, the rest of the office erupted in laughter. The supervisor awkwardly ordered everyone to work overtime that night. At that moment, someone reminded them that the CEO had arrived. However, before the workday began, the woman had already set 3 strict conditions with the CEO. Under no circumstances could her identity be revealed. Thus, the CEO acted as a stranger and brushed past her. Seeing the supervisor staring at her CEO husband with adoration, the woman couldn't help but tease the supervisor that the richest man in the company must be the CEO. Since the supervisor was so eager for red envelopes, why not go ask the CEO for an even larger red envelope? Upon hearing this, the supervisor gritted his teeth in anger but had no rebuttal. Soon, it was time to leave work. The woman immediately shut down her computer, grabbed her bag, and prepared to head home. Unexpectedly, however, she was suddenly stopped by the supervisor. The supervisor demanded that the woman work overtime. The woman said that she had already finished her work, but the supervisor then produced the entire team's workload for the week, and insisted that the woman finish it all tonight. The woman retorted that such a demand was exploitation of the employees. Immediately after, she took out the labor law to show the supervisor. The vicious supervisor was instantly rendered speechless. The colleagues nearby, witnessing this scene, couldn't help but feel admiration for the woman. Unable to swallow his anger, the supervisor immediately began to tease her again. She ordered her to take out the trash when she went downstairs. The woman had no reason to refuse and had no choice but to agree. Surprisingly, the supervisor deliberately humiliated her. This infuriated the woman. She immediately grabbed the trash can and poured its contents over the supervisor's head. The supervisor, humiliated and enraged, cursed at the woman. The woman intentionally claimed that it was the supervisor who had just ordered her to take out the trash, and that it accidentally spilled onto him. While the two were embroiled in their dispute, the CEO suddenly appeared and interrupted them. The supervisor thought that the CEO had come to support her, so she quickly stepped forward to complain to the CEO. She claimed that she was only trying to help alleviate the CEO's troubles, but this new female employee not only refused to work overtime, and deliberately humiliated her. However, the CEO ignored her and instead asked her how many people she had assigned to data analysis. The supervisor immediately claimed all the credit for herself, but the CEO noticed that all the documents were laid out on the woman's desk. Finally, the CEO stated that the company valued efficiency, and not simply working overtime for its own sake.